Hello, this is Quaris. So this video is an update for my custom Beyblade plan. In the past 1 year, I made like about 24 custom burst base. Well, some of them are not the full customized part, but just like, for example, the chin dash carriers is just some small pieces. But in total, here's all 24 custom burst base. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about some unpublished designs and my thoughts on Beyblade X and my plan for custom base in the next year. So for unpublished design, actually there's some design. There are just some discs, some armor. I have made the design, but I didn't publish them yet, and I don't think I will make a separate video for them because they're just some minor design, not too important. Basically, they're just the only feature of them are just heavy, so I'm not going to really make a video for them. The download link of everything will be included in the video description, and just check it and make sure you can download it properly. So the first disc is the central dash. It's for I would say it's for BU carriers, but we know the chain carriers is used as fortress. But whatever. When I see the Ultimate Varkey and Burst Brigand set, it's just like, okay, we have Wind Dash and Spread Dash. What about Central and Heavy? I mean, the four initial disc is the disc of the four releases at the very beginning of Burst. So I just make this one. This Central Dash and Heavy Dash. Heavy Dash will be the next to introduce. So the Central Dash here, it combines the features of Central for sure, the limited, the center part of the disc, and probably it's quite hard to tell, but it also adds some Fortress feature. It's on the side of the disc, some ridges. There is I failed to make it very clear because there's no space to add it, but I just try my best. I mean, it's not very clear, but it's a feature of Fortress disc. So this is Central Dash. It features as inner weight distribution. As you can see, the inner side is thicker, and well, the outer side is thinner. So some inner weight distribution. And the next one is Heavy Dash, and as you can see, it combines heavy for sure, the gravity and the wheel, these three discs, well, it features just the same as heavy disc. It's just super heavy. It depends on the material to use. Takatomi use zinc alloy, but it's not very available for either 3D printing or CNC, so I don't think people can make zinc alloy parts very easily. But whatever, if you use zinc alloy as Takatomi did, the Central Dash, it should weigh about 32 grams or 32 to 33 grams. And the Heavy Dash should weigh about 36 grams. But usually, either for 3D printing or for CNC, the most frequent used material is steel or stainless steel. If you use that, the Central Dash should be about 38 grams, and Heavy Dash should be about 42 grams. So that's why I don't want to make a video, because they're just so heavy. It's meaningless to compare to other discs, to even like illegal over those just like 22, 23 grams. And if I really make those, the 38, 42, the comparison is just totally meaningless. So that's another reason why I don't want to make a video to show how they performs. And these two are discs I didn't publish, and the armor 5. I have seen a lot of people complain, and I'm one of them actually, complain that Takatomi, why they don't do armor 5. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we skip to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where's 5? So I was just thinking about what I can do to like complete this list. Well, I think I have thought a lot. We have some inner weight distribution armor, like armor 10, some outward distribution like 4 and 6, some unbalances 1, 3, 7, etc. But so basically, there's all the concepts that's been used on different armors. So I didn't really have a very good idea about what to do to armor 5 until I saw the H gear. I have a tweet talking about my idea. I just say we may consider the H gear as armor 5 because it composes 2 parts, the 2-sided metal part and the 3-sided plastic part. So 2 plus 3 equals 5. That makes sense. So I was inspired by that. Of course, H gear is not armor 5, but I got inspiration from that. So I made this design. Just like H gear, it can be separated. It's composed of 2 parts, the 2-sided and the 3-sided part, and combine them together, you got the armor 5. So, and I make each part thinner than other armors. So, in total, it's just about 1.5 times the weight of regular armor. I forgot if I calculated based on the density of zinc alloy or stainless steel, but it should be about 18 grams in total. If I recall correctly, 18 grams or 20. I can't remember very accurately. But it's just heavier than average armor because it's composed of 2 parts, but that's all. And these 3 are the unpublished designs, and as I said before, you can download them in the video description. And next, I'd like to talk a little bit about my thoughts on Beyblade X. So they're both good thing and probably some bad thing. So first good thing, the battle very intense. The high speed battle are really, really exciting. But well, probably some of you have seen that picture. Some like on Twitter, I saw that on Twitter that someone the drum sword just hit the wall, stuck into it. Well, I don't know if that's what really happened, but probably that's a little bit too dangerous for even adult players. I don't know, but I mean the shape is not too bad for the first 4 releases. But when I saw the shark edge, well, I just saw another finger cutter. I don't know. Is that still safe for kids, or well, hopefully the actual product will be less aggressive. I don't know. I have to say I don't know. Another thing is that the introduce of Extreme Dash, it also introduced a new meta and new design ideas. For example, the ball tip and the sharp tip, or it called needle in Baby X. The ball tip and needle tip, or we should call it bait. The shape, the use of different shape, it changes. For example, the ball tip it was used for defense, but now it's stamina. And for the sharp, or it's now called needle, it was used in stamina, but now it's for defense. So something changed a lot, and this could be this bring us some new meta and new design ideas. However, also because of Extreme Dash, there are a lot of uncertainty. I mean, even for stamina or defense type base, they can also activate the Extreme Dash if it's hit. If the gear just catches the rail. So there are just a lot of uncertainty. It could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. We don't know yet. But here's another thing that we are certain that it's not too good. The position matters. It's a new strategy, but if the position matters, that means the battle may not be very fair. Like, one person cannot be on the 2 sides at the same time. Probably it can be solved by like the player just change their position for each round, but that's definitely an issue, and we need to see how Takutami gonna handle it. And another good thing is that I think the burst gimmick of Baby X is actually better than the the burst generation. For burst generation, I think here are some critical issues. For example, the first is the teeth wear down, and that even for some like even we go to the very end of burst, like in DB or BU, we still have this issue. Like so I think granular core is like sacrifice. It suffers a lot on that issue, and we don't have any solution on that until the very end of burst. One possible solution is that we use the rubber burst stopper like Kirby's and Bahamut core instead of use teeth, but that's definitely not the what will happen for every burst layers. So another issue is that when the base spins in opposite direction, like one in left, one in right, it get much harder to get burst. That makes the spin stealer dominate the meta. That is really, really bad. We just see the word combo with drift. Well, the drift is another issue. We have too much drift. We have drift, metal drift, bearing drift, metal bearing drift. And we also have metals, which is basically just the 0.5 version of drift or whatever. It's just the spin stealer just dominated the meta. I think one important reason is that they face no burst risk in burst meta. Just when the base spin opposite direction, burst basically doesn't exist. But in Baby X, the beat, when the beat drops, is also considered as burst finish, and this has, I assume this has nothing to do with the spin direction. Even the base spinning opposite direction, the beat can still drops. This gives the bay some chance to burst the opponent, even they spin it in different spin direction. That could help the meta a little bit to avoid the spin stealer meta. Meanwhile, the system, the Beyblade system, another issue it's not really big deal, but it's just too tall. It really looks a little bit weird on the side. It's just so tall. The bait is so tall. We can understand because it needs that gear. But what I know, we even have a higher bait. The high needle probably in the future will have high ball. Well, I don't know what. I'm not very sure what the bait would look like in the future. Yeah, that could be a problem. Yeah, that's another thing we need to wait and see what will happen in the future. And of course, another good thing, extreme finish, the 3-point victory, is definitely a good thing for attackers. Now we have four types of win. The spin finish 1 point, burst and over finish 2 points, extreme finish 3 points. I think the rule is quite good for attackers. But the issue is that extreme finish and extreme dash, these two things are not strongly related. You don't actually need an extreme dash to achieve the extreme finish. Like even just a 2 stamina bay or 2 defense bays, as long as they hit hard enough, you can get an extreme finish, because extreme finish basically just over finish, but in a certain area. So, and even if you successfully activate the extreme dash and it successfully hits the opponent properly, it may not lead to an extreme finish. It could be just an over finish, or maybe the opponent just bounce back, and in the worst case you even lose after you successfully use the extreme dash. So the two things, extreme finish, extreme dash, they're not highly related. That could be a small problem for this gimmick, but still as I said before, we need to wait and see what technology will do in the future. So, because we need to wait, I am not going to do any Baby X design in the first year, unless there's something really special or something really memorable happens. I don't know what will happen, but just let's assume there could be something happen. If that really happen, I will do some Baby X design. But currently, I have no plan in its first year. And probably I will start making Baby X design next year in September next year, and I will start from converting some burst antagonist space into the Baby X format, or to be more accurate, the Baby X evolution for those space. They will not be like remakes, but they will be totally something new. But like increase the gimmicks or shapes from those space. And instead, I will upload some testing battle videos for Baby X releases. I didn't do that on YouTube, but I did do unboxing videos on Beyblade. But it's in Chinese, so I didn't upload them on YouTube. I think that's not what my audience would like to watch. But now I will do testing battles videos on YouTube as well. So that's my plan for Baby X so far. Probably it will change. It totally depends on what will happen in the next year. Probably Baby X is just too good. I cannot stop I just cannot stop myself from and just start making designs or whatever. I don't know. Probably that will happen, but currently, I have no plan for making custom Baby X in its first year. So in the next year, I will do two things. First, I will continue some burst designs. It's a new custom baby burst system. It's called Over Ultimate Layer System, or OU Layer System. It is composed of two parts. The plastic part called cover and the metal part called support. It has three features. It's small, heavy, and it has more direct metal contact points. Talking about the small size. Well, ironically, we have something called Maximum Garuda, but it's no longer maximum since chose its. The Air 9 just exceeded size, and then we got GT. The base just get larger and larger and larger. Maximum Garuda is basically nothing in DB or BU. But for this OU system, I try my best to make sure the designs can be as small as Maximum Garuda. As shown here, all the four bases here are my OU designs, and they're smaller than Maximum Garuda. Well, at least not larger than Maximum Garuda, I mean. So it's time to give the Maximum title back to Garuda. Yeah, that's about its small size. It's small, but meanwhile it's heavy. It composes the support, the metal part called support here, is very large. It's almost as large as a whole layer, so it's super heavy. The support itself can achieve about 30 grams easily. But to be honest, it's a little bit out of control. At first, I didn't expect to be so heavy. I want the metal part to be like 20 grams, but I just realized the size still very large. I cannot limit the weight within 20 grams. So it's a little bit too heavy, to be honest. The whole layer could easily achieve 50 grams. Well, whatever. That's what have happened, so just accept it. And metal contact. the support is almost as large as the whole layer. It's almost as large as the cover. So both the plastic part and the metal part can contact opponent directly. And the metal part, it can increase the attack, the attack power, because it's just tougher. It has more strength. So it could bring a more intense battle. So that's all this all the three biggest features of my oiler system. And talking about this, some people may have already noticed that the support looks a little bit similar to something we're very familiar with. Yes, the DB armor. So not just the cover and support, we can interchange a part among different oiler base. You can even use the armor, the DB armor or BU armor on the OU layers. I did this because I knew metal manufacturing, either metal 3D printing or CNC, may not be available or may not be affordable for some people. So I just give you another choice. You don't need to make the metal parts, but you can just use the armor. Well, of course it will make the blade lighter, but I'm pretty sure it will still be very good, very powerful layer, even if you just use the armors, the regular armors. Oh, by the way, the armor 5 cannot be used on this one. The armor 5 I did it before, I mentioned before. The armor 5, it cannot be used on the OU layer. That's the thing. So anyway, you can use the armor, and if you want to, here's another thing. You can actually use OU layers to battle some pre-Chodis layers. I mean, the layers before Chodis system. You can just use the cover without any metal part, without support or without armor. Just use the cover to assemble the whole bay, and you can still battle it with God layer or dual layer, or even some Chodis layer. That's if the Chodis are not too heavy, like some maybe Furnace or the Achilles. Those layers are not too heavy or too round. Well, I think you can still battle them. Use just the cover without metal parts. Yeah. So that's about all the features about the oiler system. So here's my plan. I'm not going to make too many oiler designs. There are just 4 of them. The first, I will start uploading the oiler videos on September 1st. Oh, by the way, the template file for oiler are also available in the video description. Make sure you check it and download it if you want. So the first release is going to be Plasma Mjolnir. I'm not going to make any evolution of existing base, but I will make my own. So the first Plasma Mjolnir will be attack type. The second, Twilight Gleipnir, defense type. Third one, the Bountiful Draupnir, a stamina type. And finally, the Dominant Gungnir, a balance type. Just one for each type. Yeah, that's my whole plan for the oiler system. Well, you can see just when I upload Dominant Gungnir just in October. So what I gonna do next? So after oiler systems, I will make videos about my own Beyblade generation. It's not a burst system, not a Metafy system, whatever. It's a totally new Beyblade generation. It's called Beyblade Spiral. Well, similar to the oiler system, it has both plastic and metal contact points. The biggest feature is that it will be very easy to assemble, even easier than the X system, or even easier than the burst, I think. Yeah. Well, anyway, and also it will use the Metafy launchers. By the way, it will use Metafy launcher because I don't know how to make launcher mechanism. I cannot make my own launcher, but I will just use modified. And it will have alternative tip parts. The tip part for that can be used in the Baby X Stadium. You can do extreme dash with that tip. Currently, I still want to keep a secret, keep the detail secret, but it will be published after I finish all my OU layer designs. So, that's all about my plans for the next year. After there will be like about 18 spiral designs, and after that I will start making the Baby X designs. So that's all about my plan for next year. Thanks all for your support so far. Hopefully you will still enjoy my video in the next year. Thanks a lot. See you next video.